Ayan, apart from the RBC, what is the next one?
Ma'am, plasma.
Plasma. Okay, good.
All
Then,
WBCs.
very good. Okay, Abhigya. Then one more is remaining.
Blood platelets.
Very good. So these are the four different composition of the blood. So, RBC, WBC, platelets, and then the plasma. So these are the four different components of the blood. So one by one, we will be studying few points related to each and every composition of the blood. The first one, we will be starting with the red blood cells, which is called as the RBC. What does the C stands for here?
Cell.
Yeah, corpuscles. Actually, it should not be cells here. It should be the corpuscles. So it is corpuscle. So RBC, basically it is the red blood corpuscles. And the other name of the RBC is called as erythrocytes. Called as erythrocytes. So red blood corpuscles, other name is erythrocyte. It is very, very important. You should know the other name of the RBC. Now this erythrocyte is basically derived from the two words erythro and cyte. Erythro means red and cyte means color. Red cells actually, cyte means cells. So red color cells are the erythrocytes. These erythrocytes, they are produced in the bone marrow of bone. So we have the bone, right? So in the bone, we have the bone marrow. So there they will be producing. So very, very important this again, where the RBCs are produced. So they are produced in the bone marrow of bones. Now, what is the shape we talk about? So each erythrocytes is a round biconcave disc. So basically, they are round and they are biconcave disc shape.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good
Just now I
evening.
joined, ma'am, due to network issue.
Oh,
Could you show
okay,
up?
okay. Yeah. So we have just started with the composition of blood. Four compositions are there: RBC, WBC, plasma, platelets. Then the first topic we have started with the RBC, red blood corpuscles. The other name of the red blood corpuscles is the erythrocyte. Erythro means red color, and the cytes are the cells. So red color cells are called as the erythrocytes. Then we have discussed the next point, that where the RBCs are produced. So they are produced in the bone marrow of bone. Then the next one is about the shape. So each erythrocyte, basically they are round biconcave disc shaped, which means this biconcave disc shape means thinnest at the center. So from the center, they will be what? They will be thin. And from the side, they will be thick. So biconcave disc shape means thinnest from the center, they will be thin, and from the side, they will be thick. And they do not have nuclei during the maturity. They do not have nucleus, we can say that. They do not have nucleus at maturity. So when this RBC become mature, they do not have the nucleus. Very, very important point. So does the RBC contain nucleus when they mature? No. So they do not contain the nucleus. They do not have the nucleus when they become mature. Am I clear, children, with this point? Where they are produced? What is the shape of it?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, going to the next point.
I'm writing, ma'am.
Arun, I'll give you some time, okay? I'll give you, okay? So, when we talk about the individual erythrocyte, what do you mean by individual? What do you mean by? Yeah, single. So, when I talk about the single cell of the erythrocyte, generally they are pale yellow in color. So if I talk about the single cell of the RBC, they are pale yellow in color. But what happens when they aggregate? but during aggregation means when they join together. So when all the cells of the RBC, they join together, they look red in color. So, but in aggregation, they appear to be reddish in color. So this is again a very important point. When they are present individually, they will be pale yellow in color. But as soon as the cells of these RBC, they come in contact with each other, they will be red in color. Now this red in color is because of the hemoglobin. So they contain iron containing pigment. They have the iron containing pigment, and that is called as hemoglobin. So name of the pigment which has the iron in it is called as hemoglobin, and this hemoglobin gives red color to the RBC. So basically due to this hemoglobin, they will be appearing red in color. And if they ask you what is the name of the element present in the hemoglobin, that is iron, which is F, capital F and the small e. And the last point is about the lifespan. So if we talk about the lifespan of the erythrocyte, the average lifespan of erythrocytes is almost about 120 days. It's about 120 days. So this is about the RBC.
Ma'am,
So yeah,
can you show me the aggregation page?
uh,
Ma'am,
yeah, from the starting I'll be
one.
showing to all. Yeah, from the starting I'll be showing to all. Just let me explain this again. So they are called as erythrocytes. They are the red blood cells. Then they are produced in the bone marrow. Their shape is biconcave. It means from the center it is thin, from the side it will be thick. Then they do not have the nucleus when they become mature. Individually, they will be pale yellow in color, but when they join together, when they aggregate, they will be red in color. They have a pigment called as the hemoglobin, which has iron element in it. And then the lifespan is about 120 days. So note it down, children, now from the first point. Done with this page, everyone?
1 minute, ma'am.
Okay. And write it fast, children.
Done, ma'am.
Aryan done. Others also, have you done it? Dhriti, Shubhansh, Abhigya.
Yes, ma'am.
Who
Completed.
else has joined now later on? Okay, let me see. First of all, Siddharth, have you done it? Siddharth,
Yes, ma'am.
Have you completed this notes?
Yes, ma'am.
And after the class, Siddharth, share me the notes, okay?
We should share.
Yeah, you should share actually. You all have stopped sharing the notes. So once you share, then I can, tell you how to write.
On this notes, no, ma'am.
Yeah, this note only, whatever you are writing, please hold. Okay, hurry up, children, so that we can complete it.
We have written.
Wait,
Okay, I'll wait. I'll go back.
done, ma'am.
Now, the next point of is lifespan is almost like about 120 days. Next point, amount of blood. If we talk about amount in blood for the males and females, how much it is? For the males, it is 5.1 to 5.8 million per millimeter cube of blood. So, almost 5.1 to 5.8 will be present in the males, whereas in the females, it is a bit less, which is 4.3 to 5.2 million per millimeter cube of blood. Generally, in the males, the amount of the blood is a little high rather than in the females. Because in the females, what happens? The loss of blood is also there during the menstrual cycle, right? So during the time of the birth, like giving birth to the child, they have the loss of the blood, or every month they have the menstrual cycle. So during that time, also the loss of the blood will be there. So that's the reason that the amount of the blood in the females is little less as compared to the males. Next point, formation of red blood cell. Okay, I should change that. Wait. The process actually. The process of formation of RBC is called as ERYTHROPOIESIS. Fine. Erythropoiesis. So the process by which the formation of RBC takes place, and that process is named as the erythropoiesis.
Ma'am, could you show ma'am I'm writing?
So amount of blood in the females, it is 4.3 to 5.2 million per millimeter cube, whereas in the males, it is 5.1 to 5.8 million per millimeter cube of blood. And the process by which the RBC will be formed, it is called as erythropoiesis. The next one is, if the number of RBC increases, or we can say increase in the RBC of cell, this condition is called as, this condition of increase in the number of RBC is called as polycythemia. So if the amount or the number of the RBC increases in our body, then it is called as polycythemia. And if it is decrease in number of RBC cells are there, then it is called as erythrocytopenia. Fine. Increase in the number is called as polycythemia, and whereas decrease is called as erythrocytopenia. So that's about the RBC. So formation of RBC is the erythropoiesis. The increase of cell is the polycythemia. Decrease of the RBC cells are the erythrocytopenia. 120 days is the lifespan. It is formed in the red bone marrow. It does not have the nucleus. They are biconcave in structure. They have a pigment called as a hemoglobin.
Ma'am, is it Mia or Nia?
Mia.
or NI?
M. This is MI.
M.
MI. Let me correct it if it is not visible properly. Mia. MIA. Polycythemia.
Now, what was the second one?
Erythrocytopenia. That is N. In the second one, it is N. Erythrocytopenia. Shall we go to the now WBC?
Yes.
Okay. Next one is now the WBC, which is the white blood corpuscles. It is the white blood corpuscles. And this white blood corpuscles are also called as leukocytes. Leuko means colorless and cyte means cells. So basically, the leukocytes are the colorless cells. And why they are colorless? Because they do not have any pigment. Like the RBC, they have the pigment, but they do not have any pigment. That is the reason that they are the colorless cells in nature. And if I talk about the shape, they have indefinite shape. It means irregular structure. Their shape keep on changing. Again, a very, very important question. They ask you that you have to name the two cells which change the shape. The first cell will be the amoeba and the second will be the WBC. So learn this. If they ask you about the two cells which change the shape, then amoeba and the WBC you should write it. So the shape is irregular. Then they are nucleated. What do you mean by nucleated? What is nucleated? Presence of?
Nucleus.
Presence of nucleus. So in the RBC, the nucleus was not there, but in the WBC, the nucleus is present. And this indefinite shape or irregular shape is also called as amoeboid structure. Next one, if I talk about the amount, how much it is present, it is 5,000 to 9,000 per millimeter cube of blood. So in the case of the RBC, it was in the millions, like 5.1 to 5.8 million. But in the case of the WBC, it is not present in that number. But yes, again, a good number is present, which is 5,000 to 9,000 per millimeter cube of blood. Then the lifespan is almost 3-4 days. So after every 3-4 days, they keep on replacing themselves. The new cell will be formed from the old cells. Then place of formation, where they are formed. They are formed basically in the red bone marrow also. Then thymus. Thymus is basically a kind of the hormone which is present in the thyroid gland. Then in the lymph. About the lymph, we will be studying in detail in the upcoming classes. What is the lymph? What is the lymphatic system? And what is the main function of it? So lymph will also be protecting our body from the diseases, they will be helping to form the antibodies. Then the formation of, or the process of formation of WBC is called as leukopoiesis. It is called as leukopoiesis. So in the case of the RBC, it was called as erythropoiesis, whereas in the WBC, it is called as leukopoiesis. And the next one, if in case the increase in WBC cell is there, so increase of cell is there, then that condition is known as leukocytosis. So if increase in the WBC cells are there, then it is called as leukocytosis. And if in case decrease of WBC cells are there, then it is known as the leukopenia. Leukopenia. Right, so note it down. So that is about the white blood cells. Done with this page, children? Meher,
Wait, ma'am.
Abhigya, Shubhansh, Ayoneja, Aryan,
Yes,
Abhinav,
ma'am.
Dhriti.
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
wait, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Okay, okay. This question can come in the 5 marks also, children. It explain the composition of blood, and that is the reason we are doing it in detailed way. So this words are no one given. Formation of RBC is called as what? Formation of WBC is called as what? Increase in RBC is called as what? So if in case it comes for the 5 marks, then you should write each and every point. You should not miss any of the points. And if in case they ask about the differences, then also you can write in the form of the differences the same point.
Ma'am, once can you go back, ma'am? I'll just write the
Okay.
formation of blood.
Okay, okay. And children, today after completing till here, just send me the note so that I can go through and help you out. I can guide you.
Ma'am,
And it's
you
not
can
tough
turn to
to
next page.
score. And it's not tough to score 100 or 100 in science. The only thing is you should know how to present and how to learn, how to understand and write it.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll go to the last one now. Third one. Okay, not last, actually second last one. Blood platelets. So blood platelets. These blood platelets basically they are small, flat, granular corpuscles. Corpuscles means round like cells. Granular means round. Okay, so small round like structures are called as the granules. So basically, they are flat, round cells, or they are also the colorless cells which are smaller than RBC. So basically, when we talk about the size, they are much smaller than the RBC. And they have or they contain a substance in them. They contain a substance called thromboplast. So what do they have? They have a substance called as thromboplast in which instead of in you can write by which. So by which clotting of blood takes place. So they have a kind of the pigment called as the thromboplast, due to which the clotting of blood takes place. And the other name of the platelets are the thrombocytes. The other name of the blood platelets is thrombocytes. Thrombo is a word derived from the thromboplast, and cyte means cell. The presence of this thromboplast. In the next point, they are non-nucleated. So like the RBC, they also don't have the nucleus. Talking about the amount of them, they are present 2.5 lakh per millimeter cube of blood. So this has actually very important platelet. If the platelet number decrease in any of the person, then it can lead to the death of that person also. That is why we should make sure that the platelet should not decrease in any of the person. And if platelet decrease, then definitely from outside, they have to get some platelets from the same blood group and then they have to transfer it to the. So I still remember like
Ma'am, could you
it's
show the
like
previous, ma'am?
I had all the videos are off except I think all are off. Turn on the videos, children. So, numbers are 2.5 lakh per millimeter of blood. Is it visible the screen?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Yes, again then? No.
Ma'am, could you show the previous, ma'am? That time my network issue again occurred, ma'am.
Now it's visible.
No, ma'am.
And the lifespan is almost 5 to 10 days. So in the case of the RBC, it was 120 days. In the case of WBC, it was 3-4 days. Now, in the case of the platelets, it is about the 5 to 10 days. And the formation of platelets is called as formation of platelet cells is called as thrombopoiesis. Called as thrombopoiesis. Then, if it is increase in the number of cells, increase of cells, then it is called as thrombocytosis. If the number increases, then it is called as thrombocytosis. And if it is decrease in the number of cells, then it is called as thrombocytopenia. TH, thrombocytopenia. So that's about the blood platelets. So note it down.
Ma'am, could you show the previous, ma'am?
Okay.
My network issue.
Done with this page?
Ma'am, wait. Done, ma'am.
Ma'am, what is the dental formula?
2123. You're talking about the humans, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, 2123.
Ma'am, what does that mean?
Okay, I'll explain you that.
Ma'am, what?
How to find out, I'll explain you that personally, Dhriti, how to find out, because there is a formula to find out the dental formula. Fine, so how to calculate 2123, I'll just tell you personally.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So, this is what about the blood platelets. Okay. So, RBC, WBC, and blood platelets, the differences we have studied, and you should learn all these things. And for today's homework, I'll be sharing two case studies, like a two case-based questions will be there. So those case-based question answers, you need to think and write it. Okay. Before answering, think twice. Whatever you are writing is appropriate or not. Read twice and then write it. Don't be in hurry to write the answer and then send it. Okay. So I'll just explain you what are the two questions I'm going to send you. The first question is, Sarah, a student in your class, often feel shortness of breath during physical activities like running or playing sports. She also experiences wheezing and coughing, especially at night. Based on this information, discuss the possible respiratory issues Sarah might be facing and suggest some measures she can take to alleviate her symptoms. Alleviate means to remove the symptoms. Second case study is, during a campaigning trip, Rahul, one of your classmates, accidentally inhaled smoke from the campfire. while trying to adjust the logs. You might have seen the campfire, right? Sometimes what happens, accidentally we take that breath into it. Later that evening, he complained of chest tightness, coughing, and difficulty in breathing. Discuss what might be causing Rahul's symptom and explain the physiological process involved in the body's response of inhaling smoke. So immediately when he took that, what was the immediate response the body had shown? That you need to write it. Additionally, you need to suggest the action Rahul should take to elevate to discomfort his action. So how he can calm himself down or what can do for him, that you need to write. Right, so these will be the two case-based question I will be sending to you. So write down the answers and share with me so that I can go through and tell you whether it is correct or what kind of change you can do it. All right, children. So right away, let me share first of all these questions so that uh, you can also read out. Hmm.